Working out does not burn that many calories. That's a bold statement, but let me explain. The reality is when it comes to losing weight, a lot of people don't really need to focus on working out in the first instance. You probably already know this. Nutrition obviously is the biggest player when it comes to losing weight, especially in the first couple of weeks and months in your journey. But I'm going to explain exactly why working out is kind of useless when you first start out. Now I get it. You're working out, you're sweating, you're huffing and puffing, and you think, right, this is my gateway to losing weight. But what if I told you when you're working out, you probably aren't burning that many calories? I'm sure you've heard of TDEE, so your total daily energy expenditure. Now that is basically the amount of calories that you burn throughout the whole day. Within that you have your BMR, and then within that also you have things like your non-exercise activity, your the foods that you eat, so your TEF, and then you've got your exercise activity thermogenesis, which is actually quite small. It's not that much, and that's the part that confuses most people, because people think, if I'm working out, if I'm doing my cardio, if I'm doing my intense sweaty workouts, shouldn't I not be losing weight? No. And I want you to think about this. A workout is a planned activity that only lasts around maybe 30 to 45 minutes. When we work with clients, for example, we get them moving anyway throughout the whole day, whether it's their steps, whether it's doing a little bit of cardio, but we get them to move throughout the whole day, whereas a workout is only 30 to 45 minutes, if not an hour. When people work out intensely, what tends to happen is they then relax the rest of the day. They're not moving as much. We flip that with our clients. So we try to get them to, maybe if they want to work out, they can work out, but we tend to get them to not focus too much on it, but get their steps in, do a little bit of cardio, low impact stuff that keeps them moving throughout the whole day, little pockets of steps here and there, and that allows them to burn calories far more efficiently, and they're going to burn more compared to an intense 30-45 minute workout. And if you're somebody who's perhaps below 70 kilograms or 60 kilograms, you're actually not burning that many calories. Contrary to what people think, you do not have a slow metabolism when you are trying to lose weight and you struggle with it. If you're overweight or if you have more weight on you, you actually have a fast metabolism. So if you're like maybe above 80 kilograms, obviously depending on your height, you're actually burning calories quite efficiently. But as you lose weight and as you get leaner, working out is not going to burn that many calories because your body becomes efficient. We want it to be more inefficient, which is why relying on workouts to lose weight is not a good strategy. Start with your food, then start with your activity throughout the whole day, your steps, and then if you get time to exercise, you can factor in your workouts. So within the TDEE, you have your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, and that's basically the amount of energy you need just to keep the lights on. So if you sat there doing nothing, believe it or not, you do need some food to fuel that. Now that aside, we then have your exercise activity thermogenesis, which is your workout, so it's not that much. But we've got our NEAT, so your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So your steps could be classed in this, but it's more so, non-spontaneous movements, things you don't think about, fidgeting, doing what I'm doing just now with my hand movements, standing up more, taking the stairs, basically whether consciously or subconsciously, just staying in motion. That contributes far more to your weight loss than a workout does. We also have TEF, your thermic effect of food. So your thermic effect of food is basically the amount of energy your body needs to process foods. So protein and fiber, I believe, as well, has a high thermic effect, which means that when you're eating, let's say 200 calories worth of cod or salmon or what have you, you're actually not consuming all 200. You're actually going to burn maybe around 20 to 30 calories through the process of digestion. So your body temperature heats up to process protein, which is quite good. That's why if you ever think about it, if you've had a very high protein meal, if you've had a lot of meat in a meal, if you've been to a barbecue, your body temperature heats up. And that's thermogenesis coming into play. So the more protein you eat throughout the day, okay, you're going to be burning some energy in the process and some fiber, because fiber is good for you. And then if you get your steps in throughout the day as well, you're going to be burning a couple hundred calories quite efficiently. If you can do that first and foremost and not stress about working out, you're going to lose weight, guaranteed. Now that's obviously not taking into account things like sleep and stress, and for those who are obsessed about calorie counting, which you can do, I argue that you shouldn't calorie count when you first start. If you just tidy up your diet, you increase your protein, you move a little bit more every single day, and you just sustain that for maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Once you start to see some fat loss happen, eventually you may come into a bit of a weight loss plateau, which is normal. Then we can start to factor in exercise. But again, you're doing exercise to develop muscle tissue, to develop fitness. Don't think of exercise and working out as a means to losing weight, because you don't actually lose weight when you work out. And lastly is the practicality of it. So in terms of practicality, what I mean is, a lot of people that we deal with, South Asian, busy people, or people who live with their in-laws, like I spoke about in my last video, which you should check out, the tag should be somewhere there. People just don't have the resources or the time to work out, or the desire, especially if they live with a big family. So I always say to people, when you're starting your weight loss journey, do not be obsessed with a perfect workout plan. Even I don't work out consistently every single week, every single month. Every single month I will have a week where it's not the best. I try my best, but I then make sure that if I cannot work out, my steps are in play, I'm eating decently well, and I'm sleeping well. But if you're starting out and if you have 101 stresses like most South Asians do, you shouldn't really be worrying about working. I actually cover this in my book, Yes, Culture, Calories, and Cutting Through the Crap. It is available on the Kindle store in ebook format. Do check it out. It costs the same price as 1.5 cups of coffee, and I cover everything in relation to exercise and fitness, especially if you're South Asian. I had a wonderful Desi twist to it, and there's a lot of analogies and good humor in there as well, which will teach you everything you need to know, especially in this day and age, in the modern era, and it will allow you to be able to digest and break down how to lose weight efficiently if you're South Asian. But anyway, shameless plug aside, if you're somebody who just does not want to work out just now, or if you have a lot of struggles at the moment, or you just don't feel comfortable training at the moment, good, forget that, okay? Let's just focus on the things that I said, because most people give up because you try to be perfect. You cannot be perfect when you're trying to lose weight. You really need to get this in your head. If you're trying to lose weight, trying to be perfect is going to lead to failure. Focus on the things you can control, and the best part is the things you can control are the things that work anyway, such as your food and getting your steps. No one's going to pin you down and stop you from doing steps. You can do your steps around your house like I do when I walk around from room to room like a maniac when I'm doing, voice notes and catch up with clients, or simple things like parking further away when you go to the supermarket. You will easily rake in anywhere between 300 to 500 steps, which is a hell of a lot if you think about it. So again, we've got to be practical about things as well. So if you can't at the moment work out, or if it doesn't appeal to you, focus on the other things, and I promise you, you will see weight loss if you can sustain that. So just to quickly summarize, bear in mind that working out does not burn that many calories, so please don't emphasize it and don't think that you're working out to burn calories to lose weight. Secondly, walking contributes more to your calorie burning throughout the whole day because you're in motion throughout the whole day. Protein and fiber, very, very important. You have a thermic effect of food, which causes calorie burning throughout the day as well. And then we have to take into account the practicality of it all, because if you're somebody who just doesn't have the ability or the time or even the desire to train, I know some of you might be thinking, look at you encouraging people not to exercise. People should have the desire to train. Well, you can suck it, because there are people who are struggling just now who genuinely cannot work out. But if they can focus on the other things and see some weight loss, maybe that'll motivate them to exercise. So shut it. Now, if you're in that boat, please do check out the latest video I did put up there. It was regarding in-laws and how bad they are. Nah, kid. Basically, it's about in-laws if you're living with them, or if you live in a joint family. It's about how you can manage your exercise and workouts. It's a very practical, easy video. It was a question I received actually, so I covered that. Do check that out before you leave, and if you found any value in this at all, then do consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Drop a comment below as well if you want. Check out the description. I'm always throwing some freebies in there to help you guys out, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. But before you go, watch this video.